Now for number 15, it says a computer chip manufacturer made 270,000 chips last week. If 8% of them were defective, how many chips were defective? So you can tell here that the defective chips, that's like the part, and the total number of chips they made, that's the whole. So the other terminology we're using for that is portion and base. It gives us the base, which is all the 270,000 chips. It gives us the rate, which is the 8%. We want to find the portion. And the portion is going to be the rate times the base. Also, in general, you could phrase this like, how much is 8% of 270,000? And the way you find a percent of a number is just by multiplying the percent times the number. But you need the percent to be a decimal instead of a percent like this. So the decimal point in 8% is just right after the 8. To convert it to a decimal, we need to go 2 places to the left. So we actually need to jump over an empty space. So we need to put the 0 as a placeholder. So the decimal will go from after the 8, 2 places to the left in front of the 0. This is 8% as a decimal. Then we need to go times 270,000. 2, 3. It's the right number of zeros. That should be what number is that? 21,600 defective chips. And now we're looking at number 16. We have this very nice pie chart. We're looking for portion, rate, or base, whatever the case may be. It says, what percent does each investment category represent? Round your answers to the nearest 1/10 of a percent. So here we have this pie chart, and we have some alt text for accessibility purposes, but right here it's talking about Century Mutual Fund. It says that these dollars are in billions. So the manufacturing, that's actually 15.7 billion and so forth, 8.3 billion for financials. And wants to know the percent for each one. So the percent, which is also the rate, that's going to be the portion over the base. Now the base here, it should just be the total of all of these various sectors. So to find out how much they all add up to, why don't we just add them right here? I'm going to go 15.7 for manufacturing, plus the 5.1 for transportation, plus 3.2 for chemicals, plus 8.3 for financials. So total, we're dealing with this mutual fund appears to have $32.3 billion. And then for each category, for transportation, for example, the portion of transportation is 5.1. So 5.1, the portion divided by the base, and the base is the whole thing, which is 32.3. That is 0.15789 going on. We're trying to round our answers to the nearest 1/10 of a percent. So we're converting this decimal to a percent. It means we need to move the decimal place 2 places to the right. So once, twice, it should go after the 5. And then we need to round this 7. That's the 1/10 of a percent is where the 7 is. And after it comes an 8, so we need to round it up. So it should go 15.8%. And then for chemicals, we need to do, again, the portion of 3.2, which is how much chemicals is, divided by the base, 32.3. That one is 0.099. And then that's the 1/10 of a percent is a 9 after it comes a 0, so we don't need to round up. It goes, we need to put the decimal place 2 places to the right though, so it should go between those two 9s, 9.9%. And then we're going to keep on doing that. So for financial, the portion is 8.3 divided by the whole, which is 32.3. The decimal place, it needs to go 2 places to the right again, so it's going to go between the 5 and the 6. But see, after the 6 comes a 9, so we need to round this one up to 25.7%. And then last but not least, the manufacturing, it's 15.7 is his portion, 15.7 divided by the base, 32.3. It's 0.4860. Going on the decimal place here, it needs to go 2 places to the right to convert this to a percent. So it should go between the 8 and the 6, and then after the 6 comes a 0, so we can just round down and keep it as a 6. So it will go 48.6%. For number 16, those should be all of the percent.